1015 FM KDAWN.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome, Las Vegas. It is the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. I'm Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us on the Mark Hoke Show. David Difference, good morning.
Yes, sir. Oh, what a difference a day makes. Good morning, everybody.
You're awake.
Yeah.
Howdy, howdy.
Howdy, sir. How you doing, man?
Oh, having an interesting morning.
Yeah, tell me about it. What's going on over there?
Got forced into scramble mode today a little bit, but didn't think I was going to be, but I am.
You get her done?
We're going to find out.
Okay, we'll find out soon enough, huh?
Yeah, we're going to find out.
All right.
Doing something I've never done before, but that's behind the scenes stuff.
Well, that's growth. Either way, man. We're going to learn something. We're going to, what?
Not really.
No, we're going to learn something. Maybe. Somebody going to learn something.
I guess.
Yeah.
But, hey, we're going to have a great time today as we are joined by Diener from Impact Wrestling. Well, I don't know if we can say it anymore.
It's not official till when?
Yeah, I guess not. Well, January 13th.
Yeah, we know what it is.
Yeah, TNA. The first show here in Las Vegas as they're bringing the name back. They had final resolution last night, and unfortunately, our friend Diener did not come up with the Impact Digital Media Championship. Tommy Dreamer somehow escaped. I don't know how he did it.
Yeah, that Tommy Dreamer, man. He's a tough one.
Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah.
he's like a cockroach.
In which way? Can't get rid of him?
Nope, you can't. He will never die.
Yeah, Tommy Dreamer. He's here to stay, man. Built to last.
Nope, somehow survived last night. But a pretty good card. But more what came out of Final Resolution last night, that it looks like we are getting that match here in Las Vegas with Josh Alexander and Will Ospreay. The rematch is going to take place.
They made it official, huh?
They did. Okay. But that's going to be on the Snake Eyes card on Sunday. Not going to be on the Hard to Kill pay-per-view.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was the Snake Eyes pay-per-view as well?
Well, that's going to be the TV tapings on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
So we got 2 days.
Yeah, 13th, 14th.
13th and 14th at the Palms. And it's going to be wild, man.
Insane.
Especially, man, I'm jacked for Sunday. Maybe even more than pay-per-view right now. I mean, obviously the pay-per-view is going to get set up here soon, but man, Okada's going to be there. And we get Ospreay and Josh Alexander.
Yeah, that's going to be huge.
Holy cow.
That shall be huge, man.
Oh, man, I can't wait.
Looking forward to it, man. I don't think I'll be able to sleep.
And by the way, then. I got to tell you, I had a discussion with Ross Foreman, who's the media guy for Impact.
Okay.
And I said, you want to do some promotion coming up? I asked him, did you want to run any ads on the show? And he said no.
Oh.
Well, I didn't need to. It's all good.
Well.
And I said, you want to, do any, ticket giveaways or anything like that? Like we did last year. I said, sure.
Okay.
And I said, did you want to get me beat up or something?
Oh, yeah. I'd love to see that.
His answer to that? Absolutely.
Nice. Yeah.
I could be a dead man.
So what
at Snake Eye? I don't know.
Is that a thing?
I got to call Ross. Got to call him.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
So needless to say, the Hard to Kill weekend at the Palms could be pretty interesting. So, guys, you got to get your tickets.
Right. If you want to see Mark get beat up.
There's going to be a lot happening on that weekend. Plus, man, it's the return to TNA. So, I mean, what more do you want? Plus, seriously, I mean, you're going to get to see Will Ospreay, Okada, plus all the great stars of TNA. I mean, it's going to be massive, absolutely massive. So, don't wait. Get your tickets now. There's plenty of tickets available at the moment. And, I mean, you could be sitting ringside for all this mess.
Oh, yeah. Get in there now. We got some ticket giveaways. Caller number 4. Are we doing that now?
No, I don't have anything yet.
Oh, okay. Caller number 4. Come on, man.
No,
let's go.
There's nothing yet.
All right.
Don't do that.
We're selling y'all empty promises at the moment.
Yeah, but just hang in there. We're going to be doing some cool stuff for you.
All right.
So, but get excited. I mean, this is going to be a lot of fun. But a terrific card last night. But, kind of setting everything up for the return of TNA yesterday. And, looking forward to that. But you're going to get Trinity taking on Jordan Grace for the Knockouts Championship. That's going to be a massive match.
Yeah, that'll be big.
Yeah, Alex Shelley's going to be wrestling Moose for the Impact World Championship on the pay-per-view on Saturday night. Man, this is going to be fun.
Well, we got my boy Bay in there.
Yeah, I'm sure ABC's going to be defending the tag titles. He and Ace Austin. I'll tell you what, they're looking good. They're looking really good. Those two guys have been doing a number. I mean, they're really moving up the tag ranks in the world.
Oh,
they really are.
Yeah, no, they sync well. They both got like tremendous skill sets. You put them together, man, you got a tremendous thing.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm impressed.
Yeah, they're doing fantastic. So just watch out for those guys as they continue to roll. I mean, I wasn't that sure about them when they first put them together, but they have meshed quite spectacularly, to say the least. So.
Yeah, you got a lot of good words. Spectacular, awesome. Look at you, man.
Fantastico.
Yeah, you've been in the thesaurus.
Yeah, look, I'm even going into the Espanol.
Yeah, let's stray away from that, Mark. It's not your strong suit, brother.
I took 2 years of Spanish back in high school.
You always took 2 years of something. Dance class, ballet, whatever.
I did.
Whatever, dude.
You try. Man, I was discussing this with my daughter last night. You always want to have as many experiences as you can.
Hey, look at now, you a motivational speaker, man.
Well, you know what? At least you can say you tried it.
Amen.
You may have sucked at it, and it may have been a miserable, horrible experience, but at least you did it.
Well, you learn from it.
Right. Absolutely.
Good,
kind of like doing a radio show.
Yeah, exactly like a radio show.
Yeah, but it's been... But, so once again, some great stuff coming up with TNA here in Las Vegas, and, it's going to be a great time. So we want to see you down at the Palms. I'm sure we're all going to be there. The gang's going to be down there, so join us.
Who the gang?
I don't know.
Who the gang?
Who the gang?
Who the gang?
There's lots of wrestling people here in Vegas.
Yeah, there's a big fam out here, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast.
We was over at High Octane last night, man.
Yeah?
It's cold. It's getting cold out here. Like, really cold. But, yeah, it was a good show last night. A lot going down.
It was colder this morning than it was last night.
I didn't bring out the barometer. But if you say so, Mark.
I had the thermometer in the car.
What's the difference between a thermometer and barometer?
The barometer measures air pressure, sir.
Oh, damn. My whole life. Well, thank you, man. You're teaching me so much today. I appreciate that.
Working on that.
Yeah. You're like Yoda.
Well,
I'll leave it at that.
That's all right.
I'll leave it at that. Tap in on the comments, man. We want to hear from you. Let's get involved. And we're putting out the phone number today. I want a phone call. I think we got it. Don't we got a message we got to discuss?
A message? Oh, that. Yeah, you got trashed.
I don't get trashed.
Yeah, but we got to thank A24, the marketing team, who invited the gang out to see the Iron Claw.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to talk about that at some point here during the show. I don't know how in depth I want to get into the actual movie itself because it's not out yet. We got to see a special media screening of the Iron Claw, which of course is about the Von Erich family. And boy, I'll tell you, I mean, I will say I was pretty blown away by it. But we'll save that because I don't want to.
Yeah, I definitely want to talk about that.
But definitely want to talk about it and thank that team. And we're we're finalizing this interview with Kevin Von Erich, but I don't want to make the promise because it's not finalized yet. But
who's that through?
His management team.
Okay, you're making a lot of promises today, man.
I got the email, man.
All
it's
right.
sitting right here.
Well, let's get it. Yeah, that would be exciting. I mean, good stuff.
Yeah, but it was funny. I watching that movie reminded me when I first started watching wrestling. It was around early '84.
Okay.
So that was not only the beginning of Hulkamania, but also that was about the time when David died.
Me?
No, David Von Erich.
Yeah. Well, how old were you?
Would have been what?
23, 24?
No, stop. 84, so I would have been about 13, 14-ish.
That's when you started watching wrestling?
Yeah.
You didn't watch it as a little toddler?
No.
Y'all didn't have TVs back then, or radio.
Oh, cut it
Listen
out.
to the radio.
But I was just getting into that. Was right around when the Parade of Champions happened and Kerry won the title.
Oh.
And I was, World Class, just got to start seeing World Class. And, when we were watching the movie and those graphics came up, that they used for World Class.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Took you back, huh?
Oh, it did. It did. But, that was so, it was a trip down memory lane, that's for sure. But, yeah, like I said, I don't want to dig too deep into that. But
these guys sweating you about your watch? Your watch.
My watch?
Joey was breaking my balls last night. Where's the watch? You ever see Sopranos where he's like, where's the jacket, man? I gave you the jacket.
Oh,
and then, he was asking him all the time, how come you're not wearing the jacket? That was Joey on me.
I'm sorry. Joey DeFalco, everybody.
Shout out to JD3, man, and Ash.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, we are going to hear from Impact superstar Diener, 23-year veteran of the ring.
23, yeah.
Yeah. Man, he's been doing it a long time. Of course, he's also a producer for Impact and motivational speaker. He's doing a lot in the business and was just in Las Vegas working with the Boys and Girls Clubs, too. So we're going to get to speak to him about everything he's got going on and getting ready for this TNA switch and the Hard to Kill pay-per-view. So what do you say we take a break? And when we come back, we're going to hear from Diener right after this, gang. So stick around for more on the Mark Hoke Show. Me and Dave Difference. Yay! We will be right back.
.1015 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we are back on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN, the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. I am the aforementioned one.
Who that?
Who, me?
Oh, Mark Hoke.
That's me.
Yeah, there he is in all his splendor.
Splendor?
Yep.
Wow. So you're pulling words out, too.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm learning from you.
You know what? Vocabulary's good.
Who?
Vocabulary.
Who? He's on Impact? Or that's just the word.
Axiom is on NXT.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Huh.
I had a girl that when I was in high school, the manager called me Mr. Vocabulary.
The manager?
Yeah, the manager of a football team. She called me Mr. Vocabulary. I'm like, I'm sorry, I know words. Pardon me.
Oh.
You dumb Dover girl. Whatever.
Damn. You were her coach?
No, I was on the team.
You were on a girls' softball team?
No, I was on the football team, and she was a manager.
What do you mean a manager?
She brought around the water bottles and stuff and was completely worthless.
In high school?
Yeah.
That's not called a manager.
It was to us.
It's called a water girl.
We called them managers.
Managers.
No.
So you play girls volleyball?
No, I didn't play girls volleyball. I coached it afterward.
Yeah, I bet. You're sick, Mark.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, you're the greatest, man. The GOAT. Well, good, man. You are Mr. Vocabulary. That's your wrestling name.
Mr. Raquette? That's kind of lame.
Well, you're kind of lame. It fits you.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I promised myself I wouldn't start this week. And there I go.
You know what? Let's just hear from our good friend. Shall we?
Yeah, let's get it.
Who, by the way, when you hear the end of the interview, he wants to come back in the studio.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
I don't know. He might hurt you.
Hurt me?
Yeah, we're friends now.
Yeah, well, you know how I can turn somebody real quick.
Yeah, I know. It's all good. So what do you say we hear from Diener, shall we?
Let's go.
All right, and we are on the Mark Hoke Show with one of the baddest men on Impact Wrestling, soon to be TNA. He is the leader of the design, and kind of glad he's not in the studio. Don't feel like getting clocked today. He is Diener. What's going on, big man?
Hey, Mark. How are you? I'm happy to be here. I'm kind of. I want to say that I'm glad that I'm not in studio as well, but that wouldn't be a nice way to start an interview, would it, Mark? So let me just say I'm happy to be on the show, regardless of whether it's in studio or over this really shoddy Wi-Fi that I have in my hotel room right now. But thanks for having me.
Yeah, very happy to have you, sir. Well, you're taking care of some business in Las Vegas right now, correct?
That's right. I'm currently doing some appearances at some boys and girls clubs and inspiring the kids, telling them a little bit about my journey in professional wrestling with the hopes of inspiring them and letting them know that whatever dreams they might have, they can accomplish their goals. It's a program we have with TNA Impact. It's called Making an Impact. So I go into some boys and girls clubs, youth groups, kind of share my story, encourage the kids, inspire the kids, take pictures with them, and give them free tickets to some shows. Some kids that would maybe never get to go to a wrestling show before get to come to watch TNA wrestling. So some pretty excited kids at some boys and girls clubs across Las Vegas right now.
Yeah, that's very exciting. You're going to ruin your reputation, though, man. What are you doing?
Hey, well, I mean, it's okay. I mean, I've been doing this for 23 years, so my reputation I could care less about at this point. I'm kind of I'm an open book. You can think of me what you want to think of me, good or bad or different. I don't care. I got thick skin. 23 years of being thick skin, Mark.
Boy, I'll tell you, and it has been a heck of a journey from all the indie days in Canada to this amazing road in TNA, and you know, and seeing the journey that you've been on over the years. I mean, from the Cody Diener and all the things that you did up in Canada, man, what a ride it's been for you. It's kind of surreal for me, honestly, when I look back on my career and the things that I've done. At sometimes it feels like I've been doing this for 50 years. I mean, my body tells me I've been doing this for a long time, right? But in other ways, it's like it's just gone by in a blink of an eye. So for me to even just be sitting here with you, telling you that I've been doing this for 23 years it's very surreal. But I don't take it for granted. I take each day as a blessing in this business because I love professional wrestling more than anything. I've wanted to do it ever since I was 5 years old. So I consider myself very, very fortunate and very, very blessed man. Well, the transformation that you just did recently into, you know, being the leader of the design and the Diener character, the shaved head and you went black and then into the white outfit. You know, that was a very big change for you. What brought that on? Opportunity. I mean, timing is everything in professional wrestling. And I've been a victim of bad timing in the past, but in the last 5 years, I've really taken any opportunity that comes my way for me to move onward and upward. I will take that opportunity, regardless of what that opportunity is. And if that means stabbing my best friend to get to where I got to go, then I will do that because like I said, I've been the victim of poor timing. So when I see a chance at an opportunity and good timing to force it to be on my side, I'm going to take that opportunity. Yeah, and you did that. Poor Eric Young. What are you doing, man? Come on.
Like I said, it's all about opportunity, onward and upward. And this is some of the most famous people in wrestling have said this quote, and I think it's kind of fitting. This is the wrestling business, not the wrestling friendship. So, it's really all about doing what you got to do to get ahead. And like I said, if that means stepping on some friends to get to where I got to go, then sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Well, that is very true. I do that to my co-host all the time. So it's
Perfect.
all good.
See, you know what I'm talking about then, Mark.
It's all good. Well, you got Tommy Dreamer coming up, by the way, on Saturday at Final Resolution, which is going to be the last big pay-per-view under the Impact name. What are you going to be doing to Tommy Dreamer to take that digital title, man? It's, could be a great lead-in to the name change for TNA.
Exactly. Again, just like I said, it's opportunity. When you've been doing this for as long as I have and you see an opportunity in front of you, you don't take it for granted because you never know when the next opportunity is going to come. So, the fact that I've been willing to do to get to where I am now to my best friend in professional wrestling and Eric Young, that means that Tommy Dreamer needs to be very cautious about what's going to happen at Final Resolution. Both because I want this opportunity more than anything, but also, like you said, to be coming in to this rebrand of TNA in January as holding gold and representing the company as a fixture of the company, as a champion. Man, there's no better way I can think of to start 2024 as a champion. And to also be able to say I took out, the old guard and someone like Tommy Dreamer, who I respect, but when a championship's on the line, respect goes out the window.
Yeah. Tommy stabbed a few people in the back over the years too, so no talking there. You got
Exactly.
it. You got it.
He's going to do what he's got to do, so I'm going to do what I got to do. Plain and simple.
There you go. Well, of course, the TNA rebrand, a lot of people are excited about it. We've been hearing a lot of stories as well about the morale is up at Impact and, with the TNA rebranding. It's been the talk of the wrestling world that you guys are making that switch, and you have been there for a long, long time. We talked to Josh Alexander about making this move as well. What does this mean to all of you, especially the guys that have been there and the ladies that have been there for such a long time, to switching from Impact back to TNA?
I think it means a lot of different things to different people. To me, I couldn't be any more excited. I also think that it means a lot that you're saying it's raising morale in the locker room, because the morale was already at a 10. There's never been a morale problem in Impact. It's one thing that I actually say in all the interviews. It's like a family. So the fact that the morale is even higher than it was before, and now we're cranked up to 11. We were already at a 10, and now we're at 11. But what it means is something different to every person. For myself, I was in TNA in 2009. I was in the original TNA, and to be a part of it again, as a member of the roster, as somebody that has more responsibility on the roster, as somebody who's wrestling for championships on the roster, I can look back on what I was doing before in TNA, see where I am now, and be very proud of what I've been able to accomplish over the years. So to be a part of it again, at the ground floor as we do this rebrand in January, it means a lot. To other members of the roster, which I found very, very interesting and also filled me with pride, is there's guys on the roster that grew up watching TNA. They became a wrestling fan because of TNA wrestling. And now the fact that they can wear it with a badge of honor and say, hey, I am a TNA wrestler, it means the world to them. So like I said, it's this wide spectrum of what it means, but whatever it means to each roster, it's a very positive thing. And I'm super excited. I think this was a awesome idea. It was awesome timing. And like you said, the wrestling world is on fire, the buzz, all because of three simple words. Or 3 simple letters, TNA. These 3 simple letters still have a profound effect in the professional wrestling business, and the world's going to see why they have such a positive effect in the wrestling business in January at Hard to Kill. Or I will be coming in studio to have another one of these.
Uh-oh. Well, maybe you should come into the studio on the 14th.
Patient is there. I'd be happy to come in again, and maybe I'll bring some muscle with me. Maybe I'll have to bring Con along with me, and we can do this again. But we'll do it in studio.
Hey, fair enough. Done. Book it. That sounds great.
Let's book it.
Done. All right, Diener. Hey, thank you for coming on the show. We do appreciate it. Have a great time out with the Boys and Girls Clubs in Vegas the next couple of days, and we'll see you at the Palms on the 13th and 14th.
Thanks, Mark. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, thank you.
Good stuff there, man. Good, healthy interview, man.
Oh, yeah. We've got more from Diener, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we do.
More interview.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You extended it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll get some more from Diener coming up later in the show. I think we'll do that.
Okay. Sounds good, man.
Yeah.
I like it. So it sounded like you ended it there, but there's more.
There is more. We had a little chop up on the interview on this. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm excited, man. Yeah, good stuff. Good dude. Learned a lot about him, and I look forward to having him in the studio here.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We got a little bit more from him, so we'll do that in the second hour. We'll give you a double Diener.
Oh, nice.
Because we got to talk to him a little bit more about what's going on in the backstage with TNA and everything happening with those guys and how they're feeling about what's happening. The morale at TNA and just, how they've been everybody's been pulling together back there. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's fascinating just how these guys have really been, battling through. I guess the word I'm looking for is you felt like they kind of faded away for a while,
Mm-hmm.
And they've really come back over the past few years to get everybody's attention again. They went through the years with Hogan and Angle and Sting, and then kind of went off the scene a little bit, and now they're back and stronger than ever, I think. And it's really been impressive to see what they've done since. And they're making a statement coming up here in Las Vegas soon, so it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens going forward now that they've rebranded. It's going to be fascinating.
Yeah, I think if you got that positive energy, everybody excited about the rebrand, it's a brand new year. I think, we're going to see a lot out of them to come. I mean, it's like the little things, right, that make a big impact, no pun intended. But yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yep. So I'll tell you what, let's take a break, and we come back. We got a whole lot more because we got some news coming out of AEW.
Oh.
The Continental Classic is starting to heat up a little bit. We got a couple guys undefeated in one section, and things getting a little crazy on the other side of the other pool. We've got CM Punk showing up at NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yeah, buddy.
Was that good or bad, though?
It's always good.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
And a whole lot more. So stick around, everybody. We've got a ton of stuff going on here in pro wrestling on the Mark Hoke Show, so stick around. We'll be right back.
Shout out to Ripple, man.
.1015 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
And we're back on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. I'm Mark Hoke, David Difference.
Hey, everybody.
Double D.
Nah, let's not do that.
D-Man.
Nah, let's not do that. Not today, Mark.
Huggy Bear.
Who?
Huggy Bear.
I don't know.
No?
Nah.
The Christmas Kid.
There we go. Now we're talking.
Ho,
you ever
ho,
watched?
ho.
Oh, no, you ain't seen it.
Jingle Bells.
Yeah, it is Christmas season. Can we get a little hyped up for that?
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of that, we got our holiday smile driver, Headlocks and Hearts, coming up next weekend.
See?
Okay, there you go.
I was taking you there.
Ladies and gentlemen, FSW and Headlocks and Hearts, this is the final push, man. We want to fill that ring with toys coming this Saturday, December 16th, 7 p.m., FSW Arena. Big matches. Bay and Shogun will be taking on MK Army that night. So it should be a good card, good times. We already got a bunch of toys coming in, and we ask you go to Headlocks and Hearts. You can check out the wish list for Nevada Partnership for Homeless Youths. So we're taking all kinds of stuff, man. We're just trying to spread some cheer and make some magic. And this is the kickoff, man. Headlocks and Hearts. I appreciate everybody that supported. Help me wrap boxes. Help me gather toys. I love all of y'all.
Yeah, bring the G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip, man. Some good stuff. Dave, come on, man.
Yeah, sure. I mean, whatever you bring it. Something's going to bring somebody joy.
Yeah.
You know, let's do that, man. And also, like, anybody want to tap in? If you know a family out there that's going through it right now, tap in with me. We're going to make some magic happen. So go ahead, DM me on social or email me, headlocksandhearts@gmail.com.
There you go. Bring good stuff.
Great stuff.
Yeah, like don't bring paper.
Purpose. Well, it could be a paper airplane.
No, see, that's lame.
Well, you said a G.I. Joe with a Kung Fu grip.
That was an awesome toy.
It was.
It still would be.
Well, to a collector, not to a kid. Kid be like, what is this?
Yeah, I'd still be happy with it.
You
G.I.
would.
Joe with a Kung Fu grip.
You would. You'd be more of a collector, nostalgic, right?
Do you know what would happen if you brought a kid to G.I. Joe with a Kung Fu grip?
What would happen?
They'd take it down to a pawn shop and make a ton of money. Like, take it to Rogue Toys, bam.
Yeah, you got a point.
See?
All right, so bring those G.I. Joes, Kung Fu grip.
Done. Anyway.
Remember Strawberry Shortcake dolls?
Yeah. I didn't have any, thank God.
They used to smell so good. Sick.
Tell you the difference, everybody.
Anyway.
By the way, Gary Johnson in the chat box.
Ripple Man. Call in, Ripple Man.
No.
During the break, call in.
Yeah, if you can call it a break, that's okay. Just don't call in during the show.
Mark gets frazzled. But if you call in, Ripple Man.
Because the phone's ringing during the show.
Well, I mean, we just got to handle it. Ripple Man, call in. I need to meet this guy. And hopefully he's gone off that Ripple.
That ain't happening. Anyway, so let's get back to some pro wrestling.
Right.
So last night we also had NXT Deadline going on, right?
Nice.
And some decent matches on there. But there was an interesting appearance in WWE apparently wants to keep sending main roster people down to make appearances.
Mm-hmm.
The Punk Man showed up.
Yes, he did.
Okay. So Punk cut a promo down on NXT. But here's my question. Now, everybody's talking about, even though, Dominic Mysterio lost the North American title to Dragon Lee.
Right.
Ilya Dragunov actually had a really good match with Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin had a great match with Dragunov.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Which a lot of people should be talking about.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, that's huge for Corbin. He's rehabilitating his career.
Okay.
And you know what everybody's talking about?
CM Punk.
CM Punk showed up on NXT.
Yeah, of course.
So everybody on NXT gets overshadowed.
I don't believe that.
You
I mean, when you say talk about, like, I could almost guarantee we wouldn't have dove into this NXT card without.
I would have.
Well, I mean, the first thing you talked about was CM Punk showed up.
But that's the
so
point
why
I'm
don't
trying
you
to
change
make.
the narrative instead of bringing up guess who showed up? You didn't say there was hella Matt. Oh, and by the way, you're feeding into it.
Well, I am because
he's the GOAT.
Because when I did a search online about this card last night, the first thing that came up all over the place is CM Punk was at NXT last night.
Well, that was the biggest thing I saw.
So here's my question.
Okay.
And it's not just with Punk showing up down there, but then, we just had John Cena down there and Undertaker. And of course that was to try and show up AEW because they were competing that same night. is this good for the NXT guys that WWE keeps bringing main roster people down to the NXT shows? Does it help them or hurt them in the long run? I mean, it's nice for a short-term pop, but at the same time, when at the end of the day you're talking, oh God, I said that. I'm not supposed to say that. I hate that phrase.
What phrase?
At the end of the day. That's a bleh. No.
That's not the one?
No, it's not. It's stupid. But when
Idiot.
I get a don't say that.
How dare you?
When everything is all said and done, you're talking about something. You're not talking about what happened on the card. You're talking about other people showing up there.
Yeah.
I don't think that's necessarily good for those guys.
Well, how can it be a bad thing?
Because you've overshadowed everything else that happened on the card, and you overshadowed all these other people that are trying to make names for themselves, as opposed to somebody that already did make a name for themselves. Well, NXT is about these new talents trying to get themselves over so that they're building their popularity and getting themselves to the point where, hey, you want to see these guys on the main roster.
Yeah.
As opposed to, hey, I just watched this great show, but everybody's talking about CM Punk showed up or John Cena showed up.
Well,
I don't think it's fair to him. I really don't.
I don't think it takes away from the action if you're watching that. Nobody watched NXT. Nobody tuned in to the NXT show hoping for Punk to show up. So he does show up. You hear about it. And people are like, oh, some people NXT's not even on the radar. So they're like, oh, it increases viewership, attention for the brand. I think it's good. I don't think it overshadows. Not like he's staying there. Unless he does, then, more people will watch the show.
See, I think I do think, I see what you're saying on that, and I get it. But at the same time, is that what you remember after the show's over?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know.
Is that what you want them to remember? I think, did you watch the show?
I didn't get to see it. I was working last night.
Watched the CM Punk clips. I saw a couple, Breaker, had them devastating spears in the end of the match. But I also saw they posted CM Punk backstage congratulating, it was just hats off, you got to keep going, you're the next level, and gave her a hug, and it was like a real moment, man. He's really a changed guy.
He's a changed guy.
Now, you know what I believe, though?
Go ahead.
And a lot of stuff that I've been reading on is how professional the difference is between AEW and WWE. It's just a different league. Even Seth Rollins, you heard him, was like, nothing like what happened at AEW will happen here. We're professionals. There's going to be no fights backstage. It's just a different scenario. And everybody seems happy and on board, and Punk really seems gracious. And you could almost think that he was there. He concocted this whole thing. I got to get out of this thing. Now, had he let his contract wait, how long would he wait for? The clause where he couldn't compete, this and that. It's okay, how do I get out of this thing?
I do wonder about that. I do wonder if he was just not happy there.
It makes sense, right?
There's, it's funny, but I will counter one thing that you said, because there was a story about Bobby Lashley kind of saying that there were a lot of people that weren't happy about Punk being back there. But then there's also a story that came up, and I was going to get to this later, but since you brought it up, that Tony Khan, people were saying that Tony was just bending over backwards for CM Punk, and he just goes too far out of his way for his top level guys and doesn't listen to a lot of the lower level people in the company. Could I see that? Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, 100%. I think, like we talked about, his maturity in the business is a lot of people have been in there. So he was a fan. If I was around them cats, it's going to be hard to tell CM Punk no if I'm starting a company and here comes CM Punk. He going to be that guy. So, with that, you get chaos.
I think that, I think that's hard for anybody that's in any type of business. When you're around people that are very high level and you're kind of new to it, it's very difficult when you're meeting people that are people that you idolize in a business. Mm-hmm. Dave, think about, what's another business that of people that you respect?
So, I mean, even like the media thing is like being there and being around different. It's like, oh, how do I have any right to say anything? They've been here for 10 years, 20 years, versus a lot of times it's like, I'm just going to do my own thing in my own niche. You know, that's difficult. And yeah, I think for any company, I don't care if you like work at a movie theater.
Movie theater. Movie theater, okay. Right. You know, but it is hard. You know, when you see someone, you know, like when I coached for a very long time, you run into, you know, I've bumped into Olympic coaches and high level college coaches that you read about and you meet them and you're like, oh my God. And sometimes you kind of get to know them. You're like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think you start to realize everybody's kind of winging it, and that situation again would be difficult to come into people that you were fans of. If you're fans of somebody, you can't really manage them because you got to kind of. How are you going to discipline somebody?
It takes time to get past that. Get past that aura of, okay, you know, these are my heroes until you get to the point of these are my peers. But
I don't think that,
you know what I mean?
I think there has to start off with a separation. I had a company downtown. I had like 70 employees, and I hired my best friend, and he was like, he would come in and want to joke around, and I'm like, this is a different ball game.
Yeah,
like I can't play that game no more. You know, I can't be running around with these women, and you know, it was different.
Yeah.
Like you had to switch it, and I had to be that guy there, and it wasn't fake. It was just like it was a transition. So you had to separate yourself. That when we talked last week about Bryan Danielson being, you know, on the disciplinary committee, I just watched the interview with him, and he was like, that was tough. CM Punk's his guy, but and he was around lawyers and all kinds of stuff, so it was difficult for him. But you know, he understood his job.
Yeah, do what you got to do.
Yeah, so I mean, I think Punk is happy, and it shows. Like it's a different energy, man. And I think we're going to see a lot more people going back.
Possibly.
That's the.
Or we might see people that aren't happy in WWE go to. I think people are going to be bouncing both ways.
Yeah, true that.
You know, it's just the way it goes. It's the way it was in the NWA and the WWF back in the day. It never changes, man.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you know, Ripple Man, call in, man. Would he pass out?
Who knows? Stick around, everybody. We got a whole lot more coming up. We're going to hear more from Diener and just a ton of great new pro wrestling news. And, you know, get that chat box. Say hi to us. We'll be right back here.
Yellow.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show. Like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show, and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.